You didn't want to talk about it a whole lot during camp. Last couple of days we got into it a little bit, but now that game week's here, focus has got to be some kind of rest. How exciting is it to finally have this here?
It's very exciting. Just everything that's going on with it, and seeing the different pep in the step of the coaches and the players. It's very exciting. It's exciting for me. It's the first game as a head coach, and we're in the game preparation, which is always exciting as coaches at this time of year, and just ready to roll.
Are there any nerves on your end?
No, not yet. I'm sure come game time there will be, but I think any competitor, always get nervous. But that's good nervous, not bad nervousness. It's gonna happen, but it's just to get those little bugs out and you're ready to roll.
How the days leading up to game week, and now that we're in it, maybe you're not far enough into game week yet to really know, but how has the build-up been a little bit different for you as a head coach as opposed to the last 10 years or so, 12 years that you've been in the system?
Oh, it's been a big difference because now you're organizing and planning the entire thing, where before you were just taking the lead on some things and helping the whole process. Now you got to organize and design how you want practice and what you want going in. And so it's been different from that standpoint, but it's been exciting because now I get a chance to do it how I want to do it.
Yeah. Have you been able, as you've gone through the process over the course of the last few weeks, and especially the last few days, who have you really drawn from in terms of guys that you've worked with or guys that you worked for, in terms of what you feel like works and what maybe you feel like you want to be able to do leading into game week to get the guys ready?
I've drawn from the people I've been around. That's the Harbaughs, Jack and Jim, and John. But a lot of stuff that we do, I learned a lot there at Stanford. That just brought a lot more knowledge about the game and how to do things, from Stanford, and it was successful. It was a successful blueprint. So leaning on a lot of that to help.
I know you talked at times about when you went to Stanford, they were coming off a tough year. You guys tried to change the mentality. Now that camp's over, you guys are getting into game week. Obviously, maybe that transition hasn't totally happened. But how do you feel like about where you guys are?
It's coming. It's further ahead than it was. It's a lot better. I think we have a lot more guys that's buying into it, and guys are starting to believe. Again, the true challenge and the true test is going to come once we get in the fire, and when adversity strikes. That's the thing that I'm concerned about the most, is how we're going to respond when adversity strikes. And we tried to put our guys in as many adverse situations as we can this off season, and now it's time to put them to the test and see. I think that'll show the true character of our football team, and that's something I'm looking for in this football team. How we flare up when adversity strikes. Do we fold, turn our head and fold, or we keep swinging and fight our way out of it? I prefer the latter.
You talked a lot about forgetting what happened in the past and all that sort of stuff and focusing on the future. But do you ever caution against having them all go out there and maybe get it all back in one play, or feeling like they've got to do it all right then and there, and just playing the game? I mean, do you worry at all if maybe be a little bit too crank about it?
No, I want them to be cranked once they get out there. Don't want them to be cranked too much early in the week and then don't have enough come Saturday. Early in the week, I want them guys to be locked in and focused. Got to be sharp. We have to be sharp, and if we're not sharp, we're not going to have a chance. So, but I want them to be excited about getting out there and playing ball again. Here's another opportunity for us to get a win, and we're looking, and we hadn't had one in a while, and we're going to go out and try to do everything within our power to get that win. But we know the only way that can happen is we got to be sharp.
How do you try to keep that enthusiasm, kind of a happy medium? I mean, like you said, possibility of coming out trying to get everything done on just the opening kickoff. How do you? And you don't want them to be too enthused this week and be out of gas by Saturday. So what do you do to keep it at a good level? No,
we just continue to do what we've been doing, playing ball and focusing on the day that's at hand. Today we got to be better at today. I have high expectations for our practice today. And we got to get better today, and then come out Tuesday, we got to get better Tuesday, and keep getting better every single day. And Saturday, hey, we got to go out and put it on the field, everything. The honeymoon is over. You know, we got to go out there and take care of business. And I don't think our guys will be overconfident or too enthusiastic about going out there. They understand we have a challenge ahead of us, and it's going to be a tough one. And we just got to go out and play our ball. We don't have to do anything spectacular. You know, we just got to play ball, you know, and be sharp, you know, and not beat ourselves.
You've had a couple days now of just getting into the Nebraska stuff, and you guys maybe been more than that. What kind of challenge are they presenting?
Ooh-wee. Big challenge. I mean, they're number 8 for a reason. You know, they're really good, you know, in every area. You know, there's not a weakness. You look at it, there's not a weakness, and that goes back to what I was saying. In order to have a chance, we got to be on our A game. You know, we got to be on our A game because those guys are really good. They have an opportunity to win a national championship this year, you know, and it's all people are talking about. And but anything's possible. Anything's possible too. We got to be on our A game. We got to be sharp. Can't beat ourselves.
You've been a part of a lot at WKU. You've been a part of situations like this as a player. You guys, played Louisville, which is not exactly like this, but similar as an assistant. You've been at Wisconsin and Auburn and Kansas State. Is there anything about games like this, when you're WKU, you're used to playing in front of 20,000 people or whatever, and you go and play in front of 85 or 90,000, is there anything that's similar about all those experiences?
Yes, the most, I think, is with those games, when you play them in the past, you always look to go in and not get yourself hurt, you know, try to get through there and get everybody healthy. I think that's how we looked at it in the past. And it was similar in every time you played one of those schools. It was that way. But we're not that way anymore. You know, we're looking to compete and try to win ball games now, you know, and not look at it as, oh, here's the big guys on the block and we don't stand a chance and we just hope we stay healthy. Don't roll that way. I don't like that. We got to play the game. You know, and if you go in with that attitude, you lost already. You don't stand a chance, you know, and that's what happened to a lot of teams that goes in there. You go in with attitude and you see everything on TV, and sometimes you lose before you step on the football field. And we're trying not to lose before we step out there.
Obviously, you've been a part of those situations. Not only, you think back to WKU go in Wisconsin, you guys competed in that game. WKU go in Kansas State, you guys competed in that game. And at Stanford, you guys went and beat USC as race on that point underdog. Is there any similarity between those? When you go in, people don't believe in you, and obviously, you know, against a team that may have better athletes, you're able to go in and compete and either win or
and I think it all starts with believing. You know, if you don't believe, you don't stand a chance. If you don't believe you can beat them, you do not stand a chance, and you're liable to do things uncharacteristic of what you normally do. And once you believe and you go out and have a little success early, you start to build a lot more confidence in yourself, you know, and we don't need anybody else to believe. And like I told the football team, we don't need to be bigger than them. We don't need to be stronger. We don't need to be faster. We just got to be sharper. You know, we got to be sharper than Nebraska. If we want to have a chance and do the things we want to do, we got to be sharp, you know, but if we're not sharp, we're not going to have a chance.
Do you guys go in and put a greater emphasis on anything, for example, creating turnovers early or big plays offensively early? I mean, do you go in with the mentality that you need to proverbially punch them in the mouth early and maybe send a message?
No, not necessarily. We go in and we just got to play our ball game, you know. We want to be physical. That's us. That's going to be WKU. We want to be physical no matter who we're playing, you know, but we're going out to play our ball game, you know, and not get caught up in anything else. And I think sometimes when you play games like this, even as coaches, you know, sometimes you read up on how good teams are and you see some of the things, and then you sort of get away from some of the things that you do as a coach. And that's not good all the time, you know, because then you start doing things that you normally doesn't do or you hadn't really worked on, and then the guys play that way, and you see it. They play that way rather than doing what you do best, you know. And I'm one of those guys, if we're going to get beat, we're going to get beat doing what we do, you know. And I feel like our guys will have a better chance doing the things that they do rather than trying to do something that they normally doesn't do.